All right, guys, another video here regarding tire size and ride height and preload on the front end. We talked about raising the upper deck for when you're running very large tires. But after you've settled on the size you want to run and you got your front end right where you want it, you're running your spring, whatever spring you like, and maybe you've put some shims to squish down the spring a little bit. That'll give you the preload you want. You got shims there. Everything's good, but now you're running out of tire and you got to change the ride height because you're changing the tire. So to keep the preload the same and change the steering block position, take off the stock setup, and that's the button head with the gold washer. That's going to hold your spring on. And take your spring off. And these 1529 washers, when you put the car together, if you remember from the assembly video, we used one of them, and they're 0.75 thick. And they're just 5mm shims. These are a little bit thick. Let's say you wanted to raise your car 0.75. So you wanted to lower your car and put bigger tires on it, 0.75. Put that over, and that'll raise your steering block. And then, of course, if you kept going and put the spring on, now suddenly your preload is out of whack because now your spring is raised and you're going to have to compress it more. So to keep everything the same, we have these basically 1/8 shims, 47-44, and they're perfect. They fit inside the spring and they're the same size as the kingpin. So effectively, you can call them kingpin extension shims. They just kind of make your kingpin longer. And right now we need to raise the length of the kingpin to match what we put underneath. So it works out that 2 of these 47-44 shims equal 1 of these 1529 shims, 0.75. So what you'll do to keep your preload the same is you'll outfit your button head with the gold washer with 2 of those. And you can see there's 2 of the 47-44. That's the same 0.5mm height. And you can change that if you're using other shims. But the key here, what I'm trying to express is as you raise your steering block to keep your preload the same, you need to lengthen the kingpin. And these shims do a great job of that. So you put your spring over, and now you put your top screw on, and because it's been lengthened by the same amount that you raised, the preload stayed exactly the same. So that works out good for running a larger tire. Keeps everything the same. Hopefully the car reacts just the way you liked it before. And to address some of the different wheels, of course, one of the smaller wheels out there these days is the Jayco. The CRC and the BSR Black are made right to the limit of the Rule 38. These are a little smaller. I'm sure there's other brands with other sizes that could be bigger or smaller. But as you raise or extend the kingpin, at some point, especially with the smaller wheels, you might run out of room inside there. We're still good. You know, this still is spin free, no problem. But if we kept going and doing that kind of thing, we might have that upper hit the top. So to address that, we've got these CRC 3025 super low profile button heads, really thin, and they'll replace the kit button heads, and they're just really, really low, and it'll give you more clearance in this area to run the smaller wheel. So that's an option you can get. They're pretty affordable. I think $8 for the 2 of them. And the 47-44 shims are available. The 1529. So in the day of high grip, lean and mean racing, every little millimeter makes a difference, and all these things add up. So you'll want to keep an eye on all this stuff: wheel sizes, tire sizes, wheel diameters, preloads, all of that. It all can be adjusted with some shimming and maybe an option screw. Hope this helps. Over and out.